Hi, good morning, and today is Thanksgiving in the United States. So, happy Thanksgiving to all of you. And I do wish to add my thanks to all of you for joining me here every day and exploring what we call reality every day. So, I'm very grateful to you for being part of this tribe, let's say that. A tribe that wishes to explore the nature of reality together. Most of the questions are still coming from readers of You Are the Universe, Discovering Your Cosmic Self and Why It Matters. But actually, you can send me any question, and the email to send me questions is info, info at jayo.com. Info at jayo.com. info at jayo, jayo.com. I also encourage you to download the app, which is Jayo, Jiyo, and this app is easily downloadable from iTunes and also on Android. You can also go to the internet and sign up for participation and being part of this sacred space. And that email address is jayo.com, jiyo.com. So today's question actually comes from somebody I know, Jet Isabella Thurman, and she sent me a notice of a talk by Andrew Harvey, and it's basically a talk discussing the fierce feminine rising up in the world, and the talk has probably already happened. Andrew's a good friend of mine, and he's heads an institute for sacred activism. So I thought I would use Jet's request and question about the divine feminine for our topic today. The app is Jayo, Jiyo, Jiyo. So let's talk about the divine feminine, and let's talk about the history of the evolution of our species as we do this. So do remember that if we believe in the current model of evolution, the evolutionary model, which is based on natural selection and random mutations. By the way, I do not believe that mutations are random. I believe they are probabilistic and they follow a pattern, but that's another story all together. But in any case, the current model of evolution talks about natural selection, and even as human species, we naturally selected ourselves to be the number one predator on our planet. That's obvious that we, as a human species, that which we call Homo sapiens, are the predator on this planet. Now, if you look at the ecosystem of life, it is in fact an ecosystem that is dependent on predator-prey relationships. Each predator has its prey. The prey in turn is a predator for some other species, and we are all participants in the food chain. Now, of course, as humans, Homo sapiens in particular, we have come to the top of the food chain. And as a predator, we have caused the extinction of other species as well. We not only caused the extinction of many species, 90% of the species that have ever existed on this planet are now extinct. And also the other human species before us, which existed before, up until 30,000 years ago, have now gone extinct. Homo neanderthalis, Homo floresiensis, Homo habilis, Homo erectus, on and on. And we did so by becoming the number one predator because Homo sapiens, unlike other species, is also embedded in storytelling. And the more imaginative and more powerful stories that we create and embed ourselves in them, the more power we have over other species. But there's also a phrase in biology used by some evolutionary biologists that a permanently victorious species risks its own extinction. A permanently victorious species risks its own extinction. So let's talk about the history of our species. The history of our species has been the dominant male, the biologically dominant male. And the biologically dominant male has been the tribal leader ever since hunter-gatherer times. Once again, the biologically dominant male has been the leader ever since hunter-gatherer times. And the biologically dominant male has been a predator. It ensured the survival of the fittest. So what we call survival of the fittest is part of our evolutionary history, and also the expression of the dominant male predator as part of our evolutionary history. Now, that is definitely our past, and today we are seeing predatory behavior in powerful males that is just a remnant of our biological past. And so the question comes up, is that particular mode of male dominance now becoming obsolete? Has it overrun its usefulness? Is today the time to look at a different phase of our evolution, from the survival of the fittest to perhaps the survival of the wisest? Wisdom is that knowledge which can ensure the sanctity of life and take us to our next evolutionary leap, which I have been calling meta-human, going from human to meta-human, the next leap in our evolution. Will that require the emergence of the divine feminine in our culture? And I can say that it will, and the reason why I can say that it will is what I'm going to discuss after the next 15 seconds, okay? I'm back. I was saying that the predatory male energy has dominated our evolution so far, and therefore all cultures have been basically patriarchal, and men have been biologically predatory. But now I'm wanting to talk about the next phase of our evolution, which I do believe is the emergence of the divine feminine. So let us talk about both divine masculine and feminine as basically archetypal energies that are part of our collective consciousness. So the archetypal male energies are things like the god of war, Mars, Atlas, strength, conquest, fierce domination, initiative, predation, to some extent protection, but from a dominantly male perspective, and these have been part of our history. What would be the divine feminine archetypes or energies? And for this, I always resort to mythology, because mythical beings or mythical gods and goddesses represent archetypal states of awareness, but also archetypal energy states that take on symbolically a vision and an energy to which we can aspire. So for now, let me share with you. The 6 or 7 very important divine feminine archetypes in Greek mythology. I could have taken Egyptian mythology or Indian mythology. I may mention those, but let me mention Greek mythology, which is the dominant mythology that has shaped the history and thinking of the Western world, but also has its parallels in Egypt and also in India. Here are the 6 or 7 feminine archetypes, the divine feminine, as symbolized in Greek mythology. So Demeter is the first goddess, Demeter. Some people pronounce her Demeter. She is representing the mother goddess. Mother represents nurturing, caring, affection, attention, appreciation, acceptance, but mainly nourishing at the level of the heart, at the level of our body, at the level of our mind, at the level of our soul. So we all have had the experience of mother, and that is, Demeter is the idealized archetype of the divine feminine. Okay, the next one is Hera. When I think divine feminine, I think of Mother Teresa or Saint Teresa or Mother Mary. These are divine feminine archetypes. And in India, the word is Matra, Maya, Mata, the divine feminine, mother. The second divine feminine is Hera. Hera represents power, fierce power. Queen Elizabeth I, Margaret Thatcher, Indira Gandhi, There are many others, if you look through history, Catherine the Great, and many, many others, if you look at history. These are very fierce, strong women who led with power, but at the same time, they had feminine aspects of the other archetypes, because no one archetype is present by itself. All the archetypes, the divine feminine, exist in combination. So Hera represents power. Athena is the Greek divine feminine that represents wisdom, culture, arts, music, and science. Madame Curie, but so many great artists and poets and musicians represent the divine feminine of wisdom. In the Indian tradition, Eastern tradition, she is Saraswati, the goddess that embodies wisdom. My mother used to tell me when I was a child, if you pursue the goddess of wisdom, then the goddess of wealth will pursue you. So the goddess of wisdom in Sanskrit is Saraswati, and the goddess of wealth is Lakshmi. Okay, so that is Athena. The fourth divine feminine that I want to mention today is Artemis, which is also Diana, the Greek goddess Diana, and she represents our desire to be in touch with nature, to be protective of nature, to be protective of the environment, to be protective of other life, animals, and so on. So Artemis, Diana, is, I believe, the fifth archetype that I wanted to speak to you about. And then there is Persephone. Persephone is the divine feminine energy that represents healing, that represents the unmanifest, unconscious mind, that represents alchemy and transformation, and represents the unmanifest aspect of our consciousness, which expanded becomes infinite. So magic, healing, alchemy, these are all representations of the divine feminine that we call Persephone. And then there is Hestia. Hestia is the goddess that represents the hearth, the homemaker, the one that we associate with the security of home and family and friends. And finally, Aphrodite, the goddess of sensuality and sexuality and beauty and love. Okay, Vladimir says, how about Shakti? Shakti represents all of them. And she's the Eastern representation of all the divine feminine energies. Okay, so now we've talked about Demeter, mother, Hera, power, Athena, wisdom, Artemis, nature, Athena, wisdom, Persephone, magic, alchemy, healing, and Hestia, the homemaker. Joanna Bolt asked, how about Kali? Kali represents the destruction of evil and ignorance. But remember, I'm only talking right now about Western archetypes. These 7 archetypes, when put together, are a very powerful combination of what we need today in the world. to move from the survival of the fittest to the survival of the wisest. Wisdom should become the new criterion for our evolution. Slowly, the predatory impulse subsides and the healing impulse emerges with these 7 feminine archetypes of the divine feminine. You will find parallels of these in every tradition. So many of you are saying, what about Tara? Tara is right behind me there. And that is the green Tara of compassion. But there are many Taras, and they all represent similarly the different themes, the different motifs, the different stories that need to emerge as we move from being the number one predator on this planet to hopefully the healer on this planet. Will it happen? It depends on us. And so the divine feminine needs to be invited by everyone, not just women, by all of us in our culture. This is it. So thank you, Jet, for sending your question. And I will finish off by naming the 7 archetypes again, as in Greek feminine divine traditions. Okay, Demeter, mother, Hera, power, Athena, wisdom, Artemis, nature, Aphrodite, sexuality, beauty, love, Hestia, healing, Hestia, the divine feminine that takes care of family and friends, and Persephone, healing. If I missed anything, you can go back on this tape and listen to it again, and embrace the divine feminine within you so that you can also join this movement that will come if we survive. If our predatory impulse doesn't take over, we could survive. Thank you very much. Take care, all of you.